Hi, I'm the Jason of all trades. This video is part of a long-term review series I'm producing on the Singer heavy-duty sewing machines. I'm evaluating the performance of the machine, testing its capabilities, and possibly forming an opinion on its longevity. I purchased this machine myself, and my opinions are based solely on my experience with this single machine. I've heard from many over the years who love their Singer heavy-duty machines, and many others who have had bad experiences. Caveat emptor. During this series, I will try sewing various things with the machine, with an emphasis on the heavier fabrics and complicated assemblies I tend to prefer. I will also compare the machine to some of my vintage sewing machines and even my portable and industrial walking foot machines. Is the Singer heavy-duty sewing machine the best sewing machine ever made for sewing heavier materials, or is it a total waste of money to be avoided? Time and testing will hopefully reveal an answer, but I suspect it will be somewhere in between. Follow along with this series, and together we will learn more about what this machine can and can't do. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you know when I release new videos in this series. And now on to the video. In this video, I continue my testing and evaluation of the Singer heavy-duty sewing machine by sewing this hip pack, waist pack, fanny pack, sling bag, whatever you want to call it. This is loosely based on a pack that I made previously. I'll put a link in the corner if you want to check that video out. But I made this pack out of 10.10 ounce waxed canvas with some cork fabric as an accent, and it's lined on the inside with 400 denier nylon pack cloth. Has a little bit of webbing. It's actually two different webbings because this is all stuff out of my scrap pile. So I'll show you at the end of the video, but the machine had a little bit of trouble with one of the webbings because it's a little bit tougher. I'm gonna say that's probably just my fault. If I worked with it enough, I could probably get it to work, but just had some real tension issues. So I'm gonna show you how it went, but I'll tell you right up front, the machine did way better than I might have hoped. And you know, I entered into this experience with this machine with a bias against the machine. I have a strong preference for vintage domestic sewing machines and industrial machines, and I kind of wanted this machine to fall on its face. This was a real pleasure to sew with the machine, and you know, my opinion is not yet fully formed on the machine. I have questions about its longevity and stuff, but this experience was very positive. I can say based on this one single experience, if you're starting out with sewing and you want to make stuff kind of like this, might not be a bad way to start. So anyway, I'll show you the process of making the bag, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about it at the end. So the version of the Singer heavy-duty machine that I bought is the HD 6360M, and it comes with this table extension. This is my first time using it, and I was actually really pleased with how it worked. The first sewing procedure I did was to sew zipper tabs or zipper extensions onto the front zipper. It seems like the machine was struggling a little bit there, but that's mostly because I'm going slow and trying to get the machine to start on an upstroke of the needle through material sometimes is a challenge for it. It was performing as well as I would expect. And here I'm sewing the cork fabric to the zipper. I'm using the needle that came in the machine, which I believe is a size 100 needle, and I'm using V69 thread, both as the top thread and the bobbin thread. So it's my fault, but I had a really hard time keeping the stitch line straight on the top stitch because I didn't change the foot for the zipper foot. The standard foot on this machine is much wider than the feet on most of my vintage machines. I rarely take a foot off of a vintage machine. They usually work really well for zippers just as they are. But I should have taken this foot off and put the zipper foot on, especially given how easy it is to change feet. Here I'm just tacking the front pocket assembly to the liner. Since this machine is designed for home use, I set it up on my dining room table. A lot of people don't have the kind of space that I have available to me to sew in, and I wanted to kind of replicate what maybe the average user's experience would be. Thank you. You probably don't have as cool of a cat as I do, though. Having learned my lesson on the pocket zipper, I changed out the foot for the zipper foot for the main zipper opening. The snap-in feet are easy and kind of fun to use. It's probably still faster though to just not have to change the foot. I need to see if there's a narrower foot for this thing. I have to admit, the assembly of the front panel to the gusset went better and easier than I was expecting. This is the wing that attaches the strap to the bag, and I've turned it right side out after sewing it together. So this is 4 layers of the 10.10 ounce waxed canvas. I joined the strap to the wing with a bar tack. I own over 30 sewing machines, and I think one is a free arm and it doesn't work. So I think this is the first time I've used a free arm. When assembling a bag, it's pretty common for me to miss an edge somewhere, and I was pretty impressed that I got all the way around both of the main seams on this bag without missing anything at all. The final step of this project was to sew a double fold over onto the strap ends. One of the straps is 17737 webbing, and the machine just didn't have enough tension to make it work. I don't know if this is a shortcoming of the machine or something that I need to adjust out of it. So one thing I want to point out is I have not finished the seams on this bag. My preferred method of finishing seams in a construction like this is binding with mil-spec 4088 binding. And one of my biggest criticisms so far about the Singer is that it doesn't have the two threaded holes in the bed of the machine that are typical of vintage domestic machines and many industrial machines that allow you to attach something like my Sailrite swing away 1-inch binder. So I don't have a binding attachment from the machine, long story short. And to be honest with you, I just strongly prefer using my Yamada Pfaff knockoff industrial walking foot binding machine, or it's a cylinder arm machine that is set up for binding. So I'm probably going to just bind this with that. There are probably many other ways that I could finish the seams and do it with the Singer. And I know that there's a binding foot available for it, which is different from the binding attachment that I use. So, but anyway, just wanted to point out for the very observant, no, I haven't finished the seams, and when I do, it'll probably be on an industrial machine just because that gives me the result that I prefer. I probably mentioned it in the video earlier, but because I am used to vintage machines that have a narrower foot, A couple times now, when sewing a zipper, I've forgotten to change to the zipper foot on this machine, and I ended up having some unevenness on the top stitching on both of these. It's not terrible, but it's not up to the level of quality of something like if I were going to sell this bag, that wouldn't be acceptable. But that's really my fault because I'm just not used to having to change. It's very quick and easy to change the feet on this machine. I really enjoy that, but I just have to start remembering to do it. Really, the only criticism I have about the machine in this circumstance is that the tension was cranked all the way up, and it was good, it was fine, but I got nothing left. Maybe if I messed around with the bobbin tension, I could adjust it a little bit more, but it is a little bit concerning to me that I've got the tension maxed out. These are fairly robust materials, but it certainly could get a lot thicker and a lot more challenging than this, so I'm not sure how much more the machine has in it. You know, again, one of my biggest criticisms of the heavy duty name is, what does heavy duty mean? What it means to me may not be what Singer meant by it, and it gives me an expectation that the machine is capable of maybe more than it is, I don't know. But anyway, very happy with how the bag turned out. The sewing experience with the machine was awesome. No real complaints. In an upcoming video, we'll try something a little bit more difficult. I hope you found that helpful. If you like this video, clicking like is always a nice thing to do. There's a bunch of links to check out in the description. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe. If you have questions or comments, post them in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.